Yolanda!
Yeah, what do you want?
Bring up those Inhumanoid comments for me, please.
Sure. Alright, already. Let's get this over with. I've got a lot of Reddit to read tonight. Burn Rourke. Is it any surprise that the head writer behind the Inhumanoids series, Flint Dill, also wrote the unforgettable G.I. Joe episode, Skeletons in the Closet? Both were heavily influenced by H.P. Lovecraft and the Cthulhu mythos. In Skeletons in the Closet, Lady J inherits her ancestral home in Scotland from a line of relatives unknown to her. She discovers they are an eyes wide shut style animal mask wearing cult who worships a monstrous creature in a pit. Bonus! This is also Destro's family, making them related. It's one of the best written episodes of G.I. Joe.
Whoa, those are some great notes, Burn! That episode also gave us a fantastic overview of Destro's origin and the curse of his family to wear a metal mask over their face all their days. Flint Dill has indeed admitted in public interviews of being inspired by the Cthulhu mythos, but I'm glad these stories took a slightly more independent route. I think that episode of the Joes also did a really good job of reworking the mansion inheritance haunted house trope. It was also notably more graphically intense than the Joes typically get. I didn't see a whole lot of parachuting away to safety in this one. I do think it sort of overdid it with the giant spider bit though. By then I was saying, seriously? Yeah, all around great episode and world building for the Joes. Alright Yolanda, who's next?
I really liked this one's use of typos. Mark. I loved the Inhumanoids even when I was a kid. Their toys looked gross, and that's probably the reason they didn't sell well. Looking gross is part of their appeal, though. I like this guy. He's kind of funny. If it's not supposed to be funny, then I don't apologize because I'm a cold-hearted machine and I don't have to. Probably they are trying to share the space with Godzilla and Kaiju fans back in the 80s. As for the animated series, I think the first few series held up well, but it's not for kids, IMO.
Well, Mark, I'm not sure exactly what you mean when you're saying the first few series. If you're meaning seasons, then I'm sorry to say that can't work, because it only got one season of 13 episodes. I will say that you know your stuff outside of this, so something probably got lost in translation here. You're right to say that the toys are designed to appeal to the gross-out market, and you're not wrong if you say that that's why they didn't sell well. Due to the designs and parent groups that didn't understand the value of this cartoon, the toys barely made it onto store shelves. And I'm sorry you'd say that this isn't for kids. Personally, I'd say older kids watching, maybe with adult supervision, would be just fine. Alright, Yolanda, who's next?
Jim Sorensen. Love the concept. I feel like a modern-day revival should use Joe figures as the good guys. Make Earthcore a sub-team or ally of the Joes. Make the monsters nice and big.
Yeah, Jim. A Joe crossover would be cool, but the Joes in general would make the entire team of Earthcore feel a bit pointless. And the Inhumanoids were already plenty big, honestly. We really need to take the time to appreciate what we already have, and not reach out for more modern reboots. I'm just saying. Next comment, Yolanda.
John Ellis. I liked it, but due to the envelope-pushing monster gore, they only showed it in my market at 5:30 a.m. on Saturday. As a kid, I usually didn't wake up until 6:15 or so.
Aw, major bummer there, John. I'm glad that we have YouTube today where you can check it out all over again and catch what slipped by ya. Your network was whack. I'm not a huge horror fan at all, and I like this tune a lot. I think it might have been treated a bit better by 90s standards. But then again, look how well that worked out for Skeleton Warriors. Alrighty then, who's next?
Stephen Boyd. Loved the show's animation and the main idea, but the human/hero elements in the show felt forced, forgettable, and not terribly likable, even though they were clearly trying to do the right thing. It doesn't feel like there was a lot of time spent on fine-tuning the whole Earthcore thing. Personally, I think if they would have figured out a way to make the monsters part of another major toy line as a subset, such as G.I. Joe, I think it would have been more successful.
Ooh, Steve, I'm sorry you didn't dig the team as much, but my time spent getting to know these characters was much more enjoyable. Augur had the most personality out of all of them, but Jiggy and myself took careful notes on each Earthcore team member. While I agree that more time should have been taken in development of this series, I can say that they each, for sure, had distinct personalities that you could vibe with. Next!
Jesse X. It was a great short-lived show, definitely worthy of a live-action movie. Plus, me being such a huge G.I. Joe fan, it definitely had a lot of the same elements, and it could easily be a crossover episode in either G.Joe or Transformers.
Nah, Jesse, I think this tune would clash way too much with Transformers and the Joes. Their worlds already had way too much going on to handle. Let's not overcomplicate things by throwing kaiju and Mutors in the mix. As for a live-action movie, I don't get why you would take this out of its beautiful cell shading and put it into CGI. Not a fan of that idea. Classic 90s animated movie with the skill level of the Iron Giant might be pretty epic. If that could even happen, but sadly Hasbro has accidentally lost all the rights to Inhumanoids. That actually might be a good thing, cause we don't need a live-action Bayformers style Inhumanoids. Sorry, Jesse. Next!
Derek Mason. Love this show. Pretty dark material for a Saturday morning cartoon. I think I'll reply to this comment later, as you, and make it weird.
Hold up, what?
Oh, what? I said I like the beard. Have you had it trimmed? It looks nice. Let's move on already. I really wished it got rebooted like Gem, Transformers, and G.I. Joe, since they share the same Marvel/Sunbow/Hasbro universe. A live-action movie directed by Guillermo del Toro would be awesome.
Derek! I understand the idea of an Inhumanoids with, like, a Pacific Rim style. That sounds cool and all, but I'd still have to say that this tune had cinematic quality all around already. It just needed a little bit more focus. And it could have been a great series beyond those 13 episodes. Did you know that Hasbro already tried to reboot this in the 2010s, but they didn't realize that they had lost the rights to all of those characters? I briefly touched on that in the previous commentary. Either way, I actually prefer the original cartoon. Its visual style is unique. Its cell shading is perfect. Its cinematic portrayal of character is epic. Hey Jiggy, what's your opinion? Do you want a live-action Inhumanoids? Oh, that's so true, little buddy. Live action would be a little too freaky for me, too. The tune Inhumanoids with 80s art is the legit best. Any more comments, Yolanda?
That's all I got.
Aw, too bad. I think you were pretty great at this. You think you'll be joining our crew more often now?
I've got news for you, geeks. This is a job. I don't do this for fun. I do it because I have to.
Okay, just for bonus episodes then. That's cool.
Whatever.
Now, friendos, if you'd like to check it out, we went live with a retrospective look at how the Inhumanoids were misunderstood. We should have a link for that in the description or wherever you're at right now. If this was enlightening or made you smile, slap that like button for us. And if you enjoyed the show, then share it with your homies. Till next time, as always, keep it unreal.
If you enjoyed the show, the only way it grows is if you share it with a homie, so they can know. Come join the commotion, Cartoon Commotion. Come join the commotion, yeah, Cartoon Commotion.
Cookie shoutouts! Eric Grant, Carrie Cube, John Ellis, Legion of Comics, Marcia Sullivan, Sherry Edgin, Kate Utterback, and of course, ToySoccer.com. And just so you know, we are brought to you by the fine folks of the Cereal Box Network. CerealBoxNetwork.com. Lay us out, Jiggy.